Thanks for checking out another episode of Real Fights, helping all of you future movie makers
and actors
learn, fight, film. Just want to say a special thank you to everyone hitting that thumbs up, that subscribe, and the bell. But for those of you that are new here, we focus on everything that goes on in front and behind the camera. Now with that being said, let's get into the video. Hey guys, very excited for this actually three-part episode we're going to be bringing to you. I love it. I'm super excited because today we're going to be showing you a couple different ways on how to shoot a sword fight. I love swords, all kind of swords. You like swords, Bobby?
I love swords.
You love swords. What's your favorite type of sword? Knives, big swords, small swords, fencing swords, doesn't matter. I love them all. We're going to show you a couple ways on how to film it. All right, let's go. First tip that we're going to cover today is the no-touch concept when it comes to your sword choreography. And that's very important because let's say you're working with your lead talent, for example, right here. I don't want to take the chance of actually hitting him. I don't want to take the chance of actually damaging the weapon. And we're going to cover a couple of those details a little bit further. Now, if we go back and actually watch the video, Louis, let's go ahead and play back right there. And there, and there, pause. You can see or hear that we're actually touching. Louis is actually throwing in the audio effect there, and you hear the metal clinking. Let's go and play that again. You hear it? You hear that? You hear the metal touching? Now, obviously, come back to us, Louis, right here. Okay, obviously you can see that we're using wooden sticks, right? And we're going to have wooden sticks. We're going to have some safety padded swords just so you can see the difference of when we're trading out the weapons. When you're on set and you're working with your lead talent, not only is it important to have the concept of taking advantage of the depth of field while you're not being close to your partner and you don't actually have to touch weapons, you don't actually have to touch the person, but you also want to make sure you realize you're not using real weapons. Don't do that. Don't use real weapons. Even when you do insert shots, you don't actually use a full-blown actual combat-grade weapon because there's no reason to take that much risk of someone actually getting hurt on set. Now, let's move on. I'm going to cut right now. All right, so as you see here, you can see the difference on this position. There's no touch. When Bobby, go and swing again. No, just go back to first position. We're just going to go right here. Just that one. You see how there's no way we're touching. I can hold my stick out and he's not even going to, there's not a chance that he can touch, right? But let's fast forward that, Louis. But as we're here, it looks as if we're touching, right? We go to the next one here. He turns and he goes to cut my head off, right? Go and cut my head off again from that angle. And Louis, fast forward over to here. He goes to cut my head off again. Boom. Right? My head just fell off, but not really. Move on to this side. When he does that, you can see that it's not anywhere close to me. But when you have the proper angle and he goes to cut my head off and duck, it's not going to happen, right? There's no way it can touch. Now let me explain to you why that's important. Again, going back to the original statement is you have your A-list talent. The stunt guys, we've been working on this. We've had the opportunity to really train and understand the choreography. You don't always have a huge amount of time to be able to train with your A-list talent. You don't always have that opportunity. You might, if you're lucky, you're going to get a couple hours prior to set. If you're really, really lucky, then you might actually get a couple weeks of training with him on all the choreography and all the different fight scenes. So when you're not that fortunate and you have the chance just to be able to work with him very few and select times, you want to make sure you take the chance of using the distance concept, because if working with the A-list talent and the stunt guys, I don't want to risk anything coming too close and overshooting and actually hitting him, right? don't want to take that risk. And you definitely don't want to take the risk of the A-list talent being a great actor, but chances are they're not a great martial artist, right? So if he goes to swing and my distance is off and I put my hand too far or he reaches too far and hits me, now I'm going to be injured and out for the count. And worst case scenario, I actually break one of his knuckles. That's not good. That's very bad. You're not going to be able to work ever again if you break one of your lead talents. It's not a cool thing to... Just don't do it, okay? That's why we have the no touch. Now we're going to go through this whole thing just so you can see the reality of what it looks like taking advantage of the no touch concept when you have a very minimal time working with your lead actors, all right? We go take it from step 1, swing, 2, good, 3, coming over here for your power pose. He comes in, and we're going to do this a couple times, Bobby. Look here. You see, get a couple different angles on that, Louie, right? And it comes in. There's no touching. Although when you have the proper angle, it looks like it's touching, but bring that right back up and freeze right there. Let's freeze right there. Look at this. See, there's nothing, no sound because we're not touching at all. But your proper angle and your proper movement and, of course, cutting it at the proper timing, adding that sound effect really makes a big difference. Does that make sense? Okay, so thank you very much. As always, make any questions and comments. Thanks for the thumbs up, the bell, the subscription. So much stuff to close a YouTube video. My goodness. But anyway, thank you so much. Check us out in episode 2. And until next time, learn, fight, and film.